All right, I'm going to break down how to build the best supplement product landing page possible from scratch. Now, if you already have a supplement product page, like a landing page, now this is going to differ. Now, I want to speak to setting up a new landing page because everything changes after you have traffic and after you have conversions and after you have different things going, right? I can't give you something that's like, oh, just do this, right? To automatically change your current landing page. It doesn't work that way. If you've ever noticed, you try and go copy somebody and then everybody's landing pages look the same and then eventually your traffic stops converting as well, as because you just copied somebody. So what I'm going to do is set up the framework for building a brand new landing page, then running traffic to it, and then this is where the testing comes in. So I'm going to go through 3 things. I'm going to go through kind of the fundamentals right here on the paper pad. Then I'll kind of structure it, framework it out here on the paper pad, and then I'll go through my process on how I do this. And one thing to note here, I just said it, but do not copy anybody. It's okay to like, hey, here's the thing that I'm going to model after, copy it over, and then change things, and just use what I'm about to show you here in the fundamentals and the framework in order to make it work, right? But if you just copy somebody, it's the short term. Like, you might find something for somebody like, oh, they're running this amount of traffic and this is their conversion rate, it's working really well, let's just copy it. If you do that, it's for the short term, because the more we just copy people, the more it's just going to be the same, and then the market is going to get used to that, and then it's going to force you to change. So it's better to take something that's working, use your fundamentals, tweak some things, and then go from there. So let's just jump right into it. So I've got it broken down here already so I can remember actually what the heck I'm talking about. So the very first thing is the problem, right? This is obvious. What is the problem that we're trying to solve? And I'll write this stuff out as if I'm actually going to do this, and I'm going to pick dog calming supplement, for example. So right now, what is the problem, right? So my dog, or whatever, people's dogs, is anxious and not calm. We'll keep it that simple, right? That's the problem that we're trying to solve. Now, higher level, what's the solution? So the solution that we're trying to solve is, for this problem here, the solution that we're trying to bring to light is calming supplement specifically for dogs. To add one more layer in there, that is 100% natural. All right. So that high level is what we need to understand, is that problem and solution. So if you have a product already, you already know your problem and solution. So what's the problem that we're trying to solve? What's the solution for that problem? Now, to go a step further, we need to break this up into 2 pieces, right? So if we understand our problem and solution, one of the things that we need to go after here for the problem, right, are what are the pains? Now, this is a little bit less common. So we need to list out what are the pains that somebody might feel as a dog owner, because the dog isn't buying your supplement, right? The dog owner is, and so it's all under their perceived, what they get from their dog is going to be what those pains are. And then below that is what are the benefits of the solution that you're about to present, right? So if we have to break down our pains that a dog owner might be feeling when it comes to their dog, oh, they're anxious all the time, is, one of their pains might be, let's just break this down into 3. Pain number 1 is that I've actually had a dog like this that they won't sit down. They won't stay still. So won't stay still. Another one is that when you leave the house, they've got like separation anxiety. I'm going to save some space here. Separation anxiety. Number 3 is that, hey, maybe they won't eat, right? Because they're anxious all the time. And then we need to break down the benefits that combat each one of these. And if you know your pains, your benefits are pretty much just the opposite of that, right? So number 1, the benefit of your product, the benefit of the supplement is they are more calm and sit still. I don't know, right? Then benefit number 2 is they have separation anxiety. When you leave, they're chill. I can't write all that out, so you understand what I'm saying. When you leave, they are chilling. Right? And I'm giving you just a really layman's thing. Think about this a lot deeper about what your product actually, what the benefits are of your product actually. And then the other pain is they won't eat. They eat all the time. All time. Right? So if we break this problem down, and I know these are really just really just off the top of my head right now. I didn't spend any time thinking about these, so please go a lot further in depth on what the actual person is feeling as far as the pain goes and what the actual benefit is going to be. It's not going to be won't stay still. It's got to be like an actual pain. You have to feel it, right? And then the benefit for that pain. So the next thing, going past that point, we have our problem, we have our solution, we have our pains that feed into that problem, we have our benefits that come out of the solution. Now we need to go to the differentiator. So I'm just going to write diff to save me some space and some brain power. And then we have time, right? So what I mean by differentiator is that you're probably, if it is a supplement, you're probably in a market that's very saturated. There's going to be a lot of different supplements out there. So what's going to differentiate you, right? Now up here I wrote natural somewhere, natural for a reason, because maybe part of your differentiator is that a lot of supplements on the market use artificial ingredients or whatever it might be, drugs, etc. And you, as a human being, are more on the natural side, and so you have those same beliefs, and so you're going to pass those beliefs to your dog or whatever, and you want your dog to be somewhat natural too. So that's a small differentiator right there. But also, one of the things that I'm targeting when I say differentiator is what is that key ingredient inside of that supplement that's going to that you can extrapolate on and make somebody understand, like, oh, this is different because they have this ingredient and most other supplements don't have this ingredient, or they have a finite amount of it, right? So I don't know what that is, but let's call it ingredient X. So one key thing here is that it's natural. So you already have differentiated yourself from everybody that isn't, right? Let's call that 50% of the market you've got targeted down. And now you have this key ingredient. So this is ingredient X. So if you have ingredient X, this is going to be the thing you extrapolate on. This is going to be your main differentiator. So when somebody hits your landing page, they're going to look at this and be like, whoa, they've got this ingredient, and this ingredient is responsible for this, 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 and this. That's going to be that key thing right there, that differentiator. Now the other piece is time, right? How long is it going to take for your product to work? So normally you'll see like 30 days, or take this for 60 days, or whatever it might be. So you want to figure out, obviously, and not BSing anybody about this, but like actually how long is your product going to take to work, and how often does somebody have to use it? And so the typical thing, what I see when it comes to supplements, is 30 days. So every day for 30 days you'll see a result, and this is going to be totally dependent on your product, right? So if they take the supplement every day for 30 days, they should start to see results, right? And yours might be 14, it might be 60, it might be 70, but the audience member is going to want to see that time. The less amount of time, the better, right? If it's going to take 6 months, probably don't necessarily want to say that here, unless your product is framed in that light, like it's a stack that's, you know, $400 or something along those lines, and it's supposed to be a 6 month to have a full transformation. Like, I would stay away from that, but you want to get them the result as fast as possible. So if your product can get them that result in 30 days, great. Sooner the better. Now the next two pieces we have here, that black marker might just have to stay there. It doesn't like me. All right, so the next two pieces that we have here, so we've got, let me recap: problem, solution. Now we've got the pains that go into that problem, the benefits that come out of that solution, what's going to differentiate us, what that time frame is going to be, so that key ingredient, how do we differentiate ourselves from everybody else, what's that time frame, because the consumer really wants to know, like, when is this going to work, especially if it's a big enough problem, right? And now what's our promise? Also known as a guarantee, right? And then finally is reviews. So when I say promise, and this could also be viewed as guarantee, but like, what's the promise? Like, they just want to know, like, you're a brand new company, it's a brand new landing page, brand new product. They want that risk reversal. So, hey, I'm liking everything that I'm seeing, but you're new, right? And so what's going to be that thing that you're going to promise me that if it doesn't happen, I'm okay, right? So that promise is usually your guarantee, but you could pretty much say like, hey, if no results, this is really basic. Get creative with this. No results in 30 days, full refund, right? And you can add stipulations to this, meaning you have to take the product every day for 30 days, or your dog has to take the product every day for 30 days in order to activate this refund. They have to be doing exercise, they have to be drinking this amount of water, blah, 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 right? Because you want the person to get the result. And so you need to set the environment for them to get the result. So don't just throw this out here, yeah, if you don't get results in 30 days, you can send it back. No, actually like spell that out for them. And so we suggest doing blah, 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 blah in order to activate that refund right there, right? And then the final piece here is just obvious, is just reviews. I don't need to write anything there. You know what reviews are. And you just need to have those on the page because it's social proof. Us as creatures, we are community and social creatures. And so when one person does something, we're more interested in doing that thing because some person has already done it. That's why like Facebook groups and communities and clubs and groups exist, because us as humans want to be around other humans that share common interests. So if you have a bunch of reviews, then you're more likely to get more customers because they say, oh, you know, that worked for Sally, that worked for John, that worked for Timbo. Like, I want to be a part of that. It's probably going to work for me, right? So go after reviews here. And the best way to do this when you're starting is just get a bunch of product, right? Take that investment, because this is going to be really powerful at the end of the day. Take that investment, get a bunch of product, give it away for free. And just ask people to, you know, close friends, relatives, whatever. Ask them to give you like an honest review. So you can put those reviews down there, and that way you have that social proof. All right, next thing I want to go through here, let me grab coffee, is the actual framework, right, of what this page, wireframing, I guess we could call it, of what this page will look like. And so what I'll do, pretend this whole pad is the page to save me as much space as possible. So what I'm going to do here is just get everything out. Let me not flip that page back over. Get everything out that we just went through onto this wireframe, and then we'll go to the computer and actually look at examples and pull those examples over and show you what I look for. All right, so basic stuff, right, is we want a big old headline up top here. If anything, above that, depending on where you're at in this process, you'd have some kind of like incentive up here. I'm going to just put INC. Incentive, like announcement bar, like, hey, we're doing free shipping today or whatever, if anything. But main thing here is headline. You got your sub headline. This is to your colder audience, lukewarm audience. So we're gonna have a VSL right here. I know this is off center, don't get mad at me. We'll have a VSL right here, and your VSL is going to contain your problem, your solution, your pain, your benefits, everything that we just went over on that last page. So the way you can look at what we have here so far is we have our problem / solution. You're usually taking out one pain, putting it in this headline and the benefit, right? A little bit further in-depth explanation on what that could be in the headline, right? Then you have your full page in a video. Everything we just went over for the fundamentals, so the problem, the solution, the pains, the benefits, the testimonials, whatever. All that stuff is in this VSL, right? Now, below that, we have our button to go purchase, buy. And now, it's just a matter of taking that information and putting it on this page, right? So now this is a cold page. If this was like a product page in general, I'd probably have this shifted different, or I would have this VSL down here and have the product right up front and center in the description. Below this, now we just get straight to the product. I know this is going to be off center. So we're going to have our product image. Let's pretend that's a supplement, as great as I can draw. Sup. We'll have our title up here. We'll have our brief kind of like sub description there. And then we'll have a, you know, whatever looks on a product page. We'll have our review little thing here. Is that 5? Yeah, it's 5 stars. And then we'll have our description, and then we'll have our benefits right here. So you get a snapshot of everything in one scroll. So if they don't look at this video and they're the type of person that just skips through stuff and wants to get right to it, they have a snapshot of all the key information right here. If they've got product images that they can scroll through, right? They want to see the front of the supplement. They want to see the supplement facts. They want to see what everything is on the bottle. They probably want to see inside of the product, make sure that's on there. They got the title, a brief summary if they're a quick reader. They see that social proof. They have a description of the product, and they see the benefits, right? So if they skip all this, right, they'll automatically, when they land on that page, they'll see the headline, subheadline, so they'll see that the problem is being spoken to. If they don't watch this video, this is where we want them because they're quick decision makers. And so past this point, now we're just plugging in the information that we had back here. So the best way to do this is left-right content, and I'm running out of space like I thought I would, where you have kind of your images and your things calling this out, right? So at this point, we've talked about our problem solution. We've put all that into VSL. We've given them the opportunity to buy. You probably have another buy button right here. And then you got left-right content. What this left-right content needs to be at this point, because you called out the problem, a pain point, and the solution, you've highlighted the product. Now we need to start talking about the differentiator and what that differentiator is. Hey, this is natural. Then talk about like why other products aren't natural, why you're natural, why this is different, why this is so much better for your dog, and then your key ingredient. This is really simplified, guys. And I'll show you more in depth on the computer. Now your key ingredient. Now what makes it so different? What's the special thing about it? What's the benefits it has? Why we're using it, etc. Probably go into a lot more detail about that further down. Then past that point, we're just talking about our pains and our benefits of the product. So once we get these two key things out of the way, now we want to start talking about, all right, pain, benefit, pain, benefit, pain, benefit. Then we start plugging in promise, reviews. It's that simple. So let's jump over to my computer here and actually walk through the process I'd go to like find somebody that already has a really good product page and then use these fundamental information to build a new product page. All right, so here we are at my computer. What I'm going to do is find a good example and show you kind of how to find a good example, and then I'm just going to quickly copy things over because you'll get the point at that point. So one thing that I want to point out, when you're looking for a solid example, these bigger supplement brands are terrible examples. The reason they're able to do things the way they do things is because now they have the opportunity to build in a lot of branding. So things are now wants at this point, not needs, right? So if I go to like something like ClickBank, it's an affiliate marketplace, right? All you're going to get is the bare bones supplement brands that are just out here. We're all about conversions. All we want is conversions. They're less concerned on that branding, that look, and that feel. And so if you go into clickbank.com, you go through their marketplace, you'll see, and you saw me just click on their top offers, you'll see a lot of like just, you know, supplement brands out here and what they're targeting. And what I would do is I'd go through and I'd just check these out. So I'd hit promote and look at their page. So there's our VSL. Looks like they don't really have a strong headline there, special introductory offer. And then they got information, it's all long form, and then they got their promise, their guarantee, what we talked about, some FAQs, and it looks like they don't have any reviews on here unless I skim past them. But if they probably have reviews, or it's probably in this VSL, right? So let's go check out a couple other ones real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when it comes to those bigger brands. So here's another one. So we've got our headline, our subheadline. Now I'm assuming we're breaking into, we're talking about BAT. So this unique thing that differentiates them from everybody else. Here's the key aspects of the product, some bonuses. Oh, here's reviews, and then looks like did I pass the guarantee there? It's got to be somewhere on this page. So testimonial, there's their guarantee, their promise, etc. So you can see a lot of the stuff that I just went over on that paper pad is just the simple bare bones thing to start building a solid landing page. Let's do one more. So we got our headline. A few key things there. There's some, I guess you could consider that like authority, right? It's like Whoa, Stanford University, NASA. Whoa, Columbia University. I don't know how solid that is, probably BS. But then we go into long form information, key aspects, and then there's some social proof, it looks like. Maybe. They got a really long form page. There's their guarantee right there, their promise. So you can see all these pages have kind of a similar trend, but they're all kind of different but follow the same formula. What I don't want you to do is say, okay, I will just write everything exactly the same way here and plug in different things. Like that won't work. It might work in the short term because it's like a proven thing that's already out there, but it's going to become saturated very quickly, and then there's nothing to differentiate you over a long period of time. So the best thing I would do when it comes to building like a new landing page is look at these guys, because these guys are just really, 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 really focused on conversion, and that's all they're worried about. They're not worried about the super duper branding in the back end. So when you go look at brands like this, like Liquid IV, Moon Juice, Amra, Mind Body Green, Beauty Chef, like they look beautiful. They look amazing. So let's go to like Liquid IV, for example. Let's go visit website, right? We're not going to want to build a page like this, and we probably can't afford to build a page like this with this kind of video and things like that. And if we go to their product page, we're probably going to find like this is not built for like super duper conversions, right? Like I'm not going to send cold traffic directly to this page. So another way to check this is to go over here to the ads library, go to all ads for Facebook, and you type in, let's go Liquid IV for real quick. Liquid IV. Look at the ads that they're running. So they're not going to spend money on things that's not working. So let's see, shop now. This looks like it's mostly to warm traffic because they're talking about a discount, right? They're speaking to me as if I already know about their brand. So bold colors, pops of fresh fruit with superior hydration than water alone. That's not speaking to a cold customer, right? So they've got a really big brand authority, so they can speak to warm people. A lot of people have heard about Liquid IV, so the page that they're going to send me to is just their normal page, right? And then if they want to get me to move, they might send me to a buy 3 get 1 type deal, right? All right, let's do another one. Let's do this is a brand I've been interested in for probably the last few months. Club. Oh, and I only have a few minutes here. Club Early Bird. I think this is them here. Yes. Watch the pages. So look at the content itself. So they're using social proof. They're trying to get your attention, first of all, because you probably don't know about them. So they're going to send me to a page. It looks like it's a free offer. There's my headline. There's my VSL. There's my key things. So they're more focused on getting a cold customer to convert, right? That's what we're focused on because this is a new landing page. So when it comes to all this, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to just copy everything over, right? Over to like my Shopify landing page or my ClickFunnels landing page or my Funnelytics landing page. And I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about the copy or anything like that. I just want to get this all here into wherever my builder is, and then what I want to do is take my fundamentals and start typing in my information, my headlines, and formulating things the way that is unique to my brand, right? So I don't want to copy exactly what they have here, meaning like I'm not going to go create an image that looks exactly like this. But what I'll do is I'll move this over, right? So I'll do right click, copy, save image as. I'll come over here. I'll add, I'm just going to move really quickly here, guys. So I'm just going to move or add a image. I'm going to come up here, add images, grab this image that I just saved. And what I'll do is drop that in here. That way I can just look at it, right? All right, so once I have all this stuff in here, I'm going to look at this and say, all right, how can I make this different? And I'll go into Canva, I'll go into Photoshop, and I'll create something unique that's bespoke to my brand that follows this framework, right? Because I don't know exactly what works, but I know fundamentals work. And so if I have all my fundamentals right, now it's just a game of, all right, let me see somebody else that's successful, what they're doing differently, and how can I take that and apply that to my brand and what I want to do differently. Like they have a cool comic book thing going on, right? I'm not going to do a comic book thing because this is a unique thing to their brand. But what you should be thinking about this is like, oh, they use this comic book approach to actually speak to the fundamentals of what we just talked about, right? So remember everything on that paper pad, you could see it right here in this comic. So it's somebody writing down their morning plan, getting some sleep, waking up at 5:30, hitting the snooze, and then eventually breaking their phone, right? They just spoke to the problem. It's like, oh, wait, I do that. And then they're like, oh, okay, let me scroll further here, and they're going down the fundamental list, right? So it's the same things. There's our key ingredients, some comparisons, our social proof, etc. So when it comes to building a landing page, just follow those fundamental steps. Find somebody out there that's doing it really, really good. Copy everything over and then change everything, but keep those fundamental things, right? If you copy everything over, it just allows you to take a blank sheet of paper and now you have some things on it and now you know what you need to change out. So, all right, that's everything.